Welcome back, everybody, to this show. It is Friday. I hope you're doing absolutely wonderful. Trump's hand snot. And that's what I want to start with. One of the things people took note of at Trump's visit to Davos, Switzerland for the World Economic Forum was what's going on with his hand. Bruising on Trump's hand, Mediaite reports, looks worse than ever at Davos Board of Peace signing. You can see some of these photos. Gnarly stuff. I mean, real gnarly. And obviously the explanation originally from the White House was that Trump's shaking hands so vigorously as the president. His job requires a lot of handshaking. It's a very hand job, and that got him bruised. And so this made sense, not until it was his left hand. As you saw in that photo, this is his left hand. Now, one person said that this is the sign of the prophecy because it looks kind of like Greenland on his hand, or as he called it, Iceland. And I do have something in my eye, so I apologize if I'm blinking strangely. But the left hand surely is not from handshaking. And just in general, like, this isn't look shaming, but he looks awful. Look at the different colors of his face versus neck versus ear versus hand versus other part of his hand versus bruise. There's too many colors on his body. Normal body skin does not have this many color variants. There's not supposed to be a color wheel on your body. While I show you this next banger tweet, please do click the subscribe button if you appreciate this show. All it takes is a simple click, and it makes a big difference to get the word out about what we do. One guy, great guy, real handsome, so smart, named Luke Beasley said that banana from 3 weeks ago. You can see it looks a little bit like a banana that's been sitting out on the counter, and you go, shoot, I was going to eat those bananas, but I forgot. Which actually is the case with bananas I currently have. You could take that down. So then one MAGA account responded to my tweet with this photo of me. Could you show the full thing so they can see the caption, Jaden? That said, that banana from 3 minutes ago, and it's me eating a banana. And because this is a MAGA account, I thought it was like a fan account because I'm like, oh, that's, yeah, sure. Nothing is insulting about that. And podcast listeners, you're probably expecting that it's like a pee-pee in my mouth instead of a banana. No. It's an actual banana that the AI generated me eating. And here's the weird thing. My hand looks great. They put some eyeliner on me for some reason. Looks great eyeliner. The banana looks good and healthy and not bruised like Trump's hand. I don't know what the insult's supposed to be. It looks like I'm just enjoying a great banana, and my eyes got a little extra sparkle in them because of the AI generation. So, okay, all right, not much of an insult. But then Aaron Rupart says Trump was looking pretty haggard as he returned to the White House last night. And you can see there, yeah, not the same twinkle as AI Luke, I do have to note. So Trump was asked about it. What's going on with the hand? Which just reminds me of whenever he got asked, he had like blood on his hands one time. He was waving and a photo was taken of him with some blood on his hand. And he got asked about it and he just goes, what? Maybe that was AI. And he just keeps showing his hand. And here he says it's just because he's gobbling down aspirin and he clipped a table.
Thing on your hand, are you okay?
Very good.
Good?
I love that question. Great way to frame it, reporter. What's going on with your hand? You okay? You all right? You okay, buddy?
Thing on your hand, are you okay?
Very good.
Good?
I clipped it on the table. So I put a little, what do they call it, cream on it. But I clipped it. I would say take aspirin if you like your heart, but don't take aspirin if you don't want to have a little bruising. You know, if you take I take the big aspirin. And when you take the big aspirin, they tell you you're bruised. The doctor said, you don't have to take that, sir. You're very healthy. I said, I'm not taking any chances. So anyway, but then that's one of the side effects of taking aspirin.
So some of that can be true medically. But what a weird conversation he just depicted between him and his doctor. No. Don't take that. I want the big, I like how he says it, the big aspirin, like the big apple. And he does it against the guidance of his doctor. Now, this reminded me of him in an interview saying that he wants nice, thin blood pouring through my heart. And I'll show you the full extent of that quote, fact checked by a doctor.
What the president said about aspirin, which has gotten a lot of attention, taking more aspirin than what his doctors are recommending, and his rationale for doing so, which is, he said, quote, "They say aspirin is good for thinning out the blood, and I don't want thick blood pouring through my heart. I want nice, thin blood pouring through my heart." Does that make sense? Does that make sense?
Yeah, so that makes no sense. That actually makes nonsense. So first of all, when we use any kind of anticoagulant, medications to prevent clotting, those don't thin the blood. It's not like changing something from gumbo to chicken soup. It doesn't make it thinner. It makes you less likely to clot. And it used to be that we would treat a lot of people with aspirin therapy to prevent heart attacks. But we've learned in recent years that particularly people over the age of 70, not only is there no benefit in terms of just primary prevention, trying to prevent a cardiac event by giving them aspirin, that there can be hazard. And the hazard can be bleeding, significant bleeding. So here's the interesting thing about this. The president apparently is taking 325 milligrams of aspirin per day, which is essentially one adult-size aspirin tablet. But the dosage that we use for patients, even with documented coronary artery disease, is a quarter of that, is 81 milligrams per day. So why is the president taking, an unorthodox dose of aspirin? And the media has published, many photos of his right hand and now maybe his left hand with this chronic bruise. The White House has said that this is related to, chronic aspirin therapy. So if you're bruising a lot and your doctor says you're on too much aspirin, why wouldn't you go down to the lower dose?
I hate to say it, and this is not about shaming anyone else who has bruising on them. I get it. That's life, right? We went out and played a very excessive, energetic game of pickup football, and I was diving like a much younger man and got all bruised up. And then, more seriously, different medical conditions and then different things you're taking can cause that. You've seen it with a lot of, especially older folks. It's not about shaming that. But just, if that's what his hands look like, picture what his feet look like. So, think about that while you're eating your next meal. And I just, the doctor's like, why would he be taking something his doctor's saying not to take? And his explanation is because he doesn't want thick blood pouring through my heart. I don't know. I think he should leave it to the medical professionals. Now, let's do a little bit of a side-by-side here. Why don't we, huh? Let's do this, and let's do this, okay? Look at this hand. Now look at this hand. Look at this hand. Now look at this hand. Now for the grand reveal. Dun dun dun! Joe Biden, baby! Say what you want, but those are sexy hands. Now then you have Trump. It's not just the body that seems to be having a little bit of issues, but it's the mind. It's the brain. And
A brain.
here's him trying to communicate, I guess, that war is very destructive, true, and expensive, true, but it doesn't come out exactly right.
That's a lot of money, but it's nothing compared to the value of peace. Peace is so destructive for everyone, even countries that aren't involved. I mean, it's so destructive for everybody when you have wars.
Please tell us who your Fed pick is, sir. Can you tell us who your Fed.
So at the end there, he kind of stares at the reporters like, did that make sense to you? Because it didn't make sense to me. He says, peace is so destructive for everyone. I mean, countries that are not involved, it's so destructive for everyone when you have wars. peace is war and war is peace. So you might have thought that was a glitch. That was a deeper, profound point about geopolitics, is what Caroline Levitt's about to tell us. And I name check her because she denied that Trump mixed up Greenland and Iceland.
No, we'd be there for them. I don't know that they'd be there for us. So with all of the money we expend, with all of the blood, sweat, and tears, I don't know that they'd be there for us. They're not there for us on Iceland, that I can tell you. I mean, our stock market took the first dip yesterday because of Iceland. So Iceland's already cost us a lot of money. But that dip is peanuts compared to what it's gone up. And we have an unbelievable future.
And this is all just in the last couple of days. You know, even this.
They pay us a lot of money because they buy missiles and they buy a lot of things. Unfortunately, Obama gave them $350 billion for Ukraine, which was just terrible. I mean, the whole thing was terrible.
So there he's trying to say Biden, but he says Obama, and then whenever he justifies that, he goes, no, it's because I'm saying Biden, like how their Obama was controlling Biden, but it's really just a glitch, and that number is wrong. And so I better see so many headlines about all of that, because I remember headlines like this: Biden has a Peloton bike. That raises issues at the White House. It doesn't exactly comport with his regular Joe from Scranton persona, but beyond the politics of it, the bike could present cybersecurity risks. I didn't know Biden had a Peloton. You can picture him biking, and the first someone pops up. It's like, now time to start your session. And he's like, who the hell is that? Who's here? What the hell? Hi, I'm Deborah, and I'm gonna be biking you through the Italian mountains or something. And then he's like, no, I'm in Washington, D.C., Jack. I'm not in Italy. Oh, that's a funny thing to imagine.